Hi guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to the channel and a slightly different video than the usual reactions. So this is something I feel very strongly on, and it's a video that I've now tried to make 3 or 4 times, and the original way I was going to go down of doing it, of having all the notes and knowing what to say where and when, it just doesn't work. I feel this kind of video, and with my opinions on it, it should be made as I normally make my videos, and that is just speaking from the heart, 100% truth. And just letting it come out. What comes out will come out to a point with this video, because there has to be some restraint. I can't say some of the things that I would like to say in the ways I would want to say them, and just out of respect for this whole situation and for the family, I will be as reserved as possible. So this is a video, like I say, I've tried to make a couple of times, and I am simply disgusted in this article, or many articles that I've read about what has happened. So I'll take you back. For any of you that are a part of the alternative scene, for any of you that have ever been to a gig, bought a band t-shirt, supported a band, you listen to heavier music, alternative music, whatever genre that may be. I know I joke around saying that punk is shit all the time, but when it comes to this particular situation, there's nothing that will come between the fans of different kinds of music within this scene. So in 2008, there was a girl called Sophie Lancaster, and she was murdered literally because she was alternative. She was gothic. So you have different kinds of dresses and different kinds of fashion senses within the alternative scene. And Sophie is definitely someone that I would say had the more gothic style. And it was really cool. To be fair, she rocked it. She pulled it off. I would never be able to wear New Rocks. I just wouldn't be able to do it. Sophie could. Anyway, she was murdered in 2008 simply for being gothic. No other reason. She was walking home with her boyfriend one night from a party, and these group of absolute bastards decided to set on her. Unfortunately, she died. Her boyfriend survived, but he still has injuries to this day. He did recover to a point, but he's scarred for life now. Last time I checked, he was still in a wheelchair to a point. He could walk a little bit, still in a wheelchair to a point. But this girl is someone who should never, ever be forgotten about within the alternative scene, within life in general. And when it comes to sentences for murder, she should always be used as an example. And there's a Sophie Lancaster Foundation. It is run by her mum and other members of the family and friends and things like that. And it does phenomenal work. It really does phenomenal work. I am so proud to be known as an advocate of this foundation, and will do everything within my power and within my channel and within the platform that I've built to promote this foundation from the rooftops and scream about it from wherever they want me to do. Because I'm sorry, if you're going out, if you're someone who wakes up in the morning and thinks, I'm going to go murder someone, in general, you need to be put in prison. But if you think that it's okay and that you can justify murdering someone and taking someone's life simply because they dress differently to you, then you probably need to go to a mental hospital and then be thrown in prison for the rest of your life. So we will come back round, and I will try and not get too angry when it comes to this, because it's something that I feel massively about, and I'm very passionate about when it comes to this particular subject. So, Ryan Herbert, he was 16 years old when he murdered Sophie, and he was jailed in 2008. He was originally jailed for life, which, in my opinion, if you take someone's life, it should be life for life. You should be put in prison for the rest of your life. Now, I do have certain kind of reservations about the whole death penalty and things like that. I know it's not a thing in the UK anymore, but in America it still is. And if there's 100% evidence that proves that you did what you said you did and you admitted to doing it, then life for a life. Why should we have to pay for you to be locked up for the rest of your life? Why should the taxpayers have to house you and feed you and look after you and give you all these luxuries when you simply went out and took someone else's life because they were different, because they dressed slightly differently? So that's just my opinion on it. I do have some strong views and opinions on things like that. But yeah, like I say, this video has got to come out the way I want it to come out. It has got to come from the heart, and I've got to speak on it the way I want to speak on it. It's just got to come out this way. It doesn't work when you script it. It doesn't work when you use notes. The only notes I can use is the facts that I've got in front of me of the dates and times and sentences and things like that. So, this wonderful, wonderful article is being published across many of the British newspapers, the BBC, the Mirror, the Mail, that kind of thing. There was a link to the Sun, but they can fuck right off for obvious reasons. So, Ryan Herbert, 16, was jailed for life in 2008 for the murder of Sophie Lancaster. He admitted it, and he also admitted being an accomplice with his friends, because there was more than one that was involved. So he admitted murder and assault and causing grievous bodily harm with intent, and was given a minimum term of 16 years and 3 months, which was later reduced to 15.5 years. He had a minimum tariff reduced to 14.5 years in February 2020, making him now eligible for parole consideration 2 years later. That is not life. That is not life. And the fucking reason that they have given for his sentence being reduced and for him now to be considered to be released on parole is that the High Court judge, Mr. Justice William Davis, has concluded he's sat there with his little fucking wig on and said that he's made exceptional progress in prison. And if he hadn't have killed someone in the first place, he wouldn't be in prison to make considerable progress. So, that makes no fucking sense. If he's made considerable progress in prison, what, he hasn't killed another inmate? Oh, he's been on his best behaviour, he's gone to work and bought his fucking quavers? He's been back in his cell at the right time, not causing any trouble? He still fucking murdered someone because they were gothic. Now, I'm sorry, this country is a joke when it comes to its justice system. There's a couple of exceptions, but this case, in particular, at the time, was the biggest thing that had ever happened. Someone had been murdered because they were dressed as a gothic person. That guy went out that day, seen Sophie and her boyfriend, and decided to kick the living shit out of her because she was dressed differently to that knobhead. But he's made considerable progress in prison. Again, he wouldn't have been in prison had he not murdered someone for dressing differently. So why the fuck should he be considered release and parole and license and all these fucking stupid fancy words they use nowadays? Because if he gets out, he can carry on with his life. He was 16 when he went in, which makes him, 2008, 2018. He's 26, 30 nearly. Is he 30? I'm shit at maths. Quick maths. 16 in 2008, which would make him 26 in 2018. He is 30. Yeah, he's approaching 30. So, he's got the rest of his life ahead of him. Where's Sophie? He's got the rest of his life ahead of him. What about her boyfriend at the time? He can get out. He can go and enjoy his life again. He can walk around the streets. What about Sophie? What about Sophie's family? Her mum now has to live with the fact that the lad, and I'm sorry for saying it this way, but the lad that kicked her daughter to death is allowed to walk the streets of this country again, but as long as he's probably going to have to be back in by 8 o'clock because of the terms of his parole, I'm guessing. He'll probably be on tag. Life should mean life. If you take someone else's life, you lose yours. Whether that is in prison, whether that is in America, you know, they go on to death row and things like that. We don't have that in this country. But his life should be made a living hell for what he did. Now, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to say this publicly. I do not condone anyone going and attacking this guy, because you will only get yourselves in trouble. But he shouldn't be made to feel comfortable walking the streets in this UK, or the UK. He shouldn't be allowed to get one night's peaceful sleep the night that he is released from prison. if he is released, which is looking like it's going to happen. I hope that when he gets out of prison, he has a nightmare every night for the rest of his life. And if you do so happen to believe in the afterlife and in spirits and things like that, which I and Emily both do, I've got proof that it exists, I hope that Sophie haunts the living daylights out of him and that he sees her face every single day for the rest of his life. Because I'm sorry, if you can be the kind of person that would literally kick someone to death, leave them for dead on the floor, and run away like the coward he clearly was, you do not deserve to have one little bit of peace in your life ever again. Just no. Now, this channel, let's move on to something a little bit more positive, because I'm going to start raging and I'm going to say something that I don't mean to say or in a way that I don't want to say it. But I created this channel to bring happiness to people who like alternative music. I was bullied in school for being exactly the same as Sophie. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be called a fucking devil worshipper and they do all this to you across the fucking school playground. I had like pen drawn on the back of my shirt in school. I was bullied for being different. I was bullied for wearing hoodies with band logos on them and stuff. I used to wear Linkin Park merch to school and things like that. That was around at that time. Sometimes you'd see me wearing like hymn t-shirts with the heartogram and stuff on. And people would be like, ooh, that's the symbol of the devil. Well, for one reason, dickhead, it's fucking not. Do some research. But I've been there. And I created this space and this community for people to feel safe. One of the biggest fucking rules in the Discord server is be accepting, be polite, be accepting of people's opinions and beliefs. If someone shares a song that you don't like, then don't comment. Just leave it be. Let the people who are into that band discuss it. There's one rule and it's pinned in the Discord server. Don't be a dick. The alternative scene is such a fucking amazing place to be, and I will support it till I'm gone myself. And then hopefully I go to heaven or wherever there's fucking festivals 24/7 and heavy music, and I love the alternative community. I will support it. I'll do anything to keep the name of the alternative scene going. I went to a gig last week. It is the most unbelievable atmosphere to be in. To have live music back, to be back with people you've never met, but you feel like you've known all your life. It is just the most accepting, unreal experience to go to a live music venue, and I'm so glad to have it back after lockdown. But there is one thing that us all that watch this channel, that anyone that sees this video must do, and that is never, ever let her name die and her image be not shared around. Because this disgusting human does not deserve 1 second of freedom. He does not deserve to be released from behind those bars. He deserves to rot for the rest of his life. It's not as if you can't justify murder in general. You can't. You can't justify it no matter how hard you try. One thing you definitely cannot justify is the reason that he did it. It wasn't even as like, you can't justify it. I can't sit here and try and make it sound better, because he killed Sophie Lancaster because she was gothic. That's it. He didn't know her. He never know her as a person. He never spoke to her. He just looked at her and went, "You're a goth. You now have to die. Then therefore, you don't deserve to be fucking released from prison ever." That's it. Game over. And I'm sorry, but Lord Justice, whatever this fucking Justice William Davis, he needs to retire. He needs to retire, or someone needs to take him off the board of High Court judges, whatever it may be, the fucking Whig Society, because, I'm sorry, a reason of him making exceptional progress in prison is not a reason to release him. The reason he is in there in the first place is the reason he should stay there for the rest of his life. What happens if High Court Judge fucking Mr. Justice William Davis goes, he's made exceptional progress, he lets him out on fucking license or parole or whatever, And in the time that he's allowed to leave his house, he goes and murders someone for looking emo, or for looking like me, or because they're queuing up and they're in a fucking band shirt that he doesn't like, and he goes, I know, I'll just kill him or her as well, and this time it may even be more gruesome. Who does it fall back on? That judge and this country's justice system. It's disgusting. It should not be allowed to happen. So, there's going to be links in the description to this video. People, please go and share them around. If you can afford to, donate a couple of quid to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, because the work that they do and the work that they have done and the things that they have accomplished in this country, unreal. I hold my hands up to you because it is just fucking unreal what they have done. Do you now know that if someone attacks another member of the alternative community, it now carries a higher sentence? It is now an actual criminal offence to attack someone because of the way they look. That is all down to the work of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Not that it should ever happen, but it will, and it will unfortunately continue to happen. But they change the law in this country with the work that they do, and I am so, so proud to be an advocate for this foundation and to support it. I have the Sophie wristbands. They didn't have the t-shirt in at the time in my size. I still need to get one. But this channel will always support the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, and anybody at all is welcome in this community. It's a safe space. If you're feeling low or down or something, join the Discord server, put a message in. There is always people. I have got people in my server that will talk to anyone. Send me a message me on Instagram, Facebook, email me, Twitter, the lot. I will get back to you at some point in time. I do get a lot of messages. I appreciate the fact that it may take me a little bit to get to you, but I will always reply, and that goes to anyone who messages. I will always reply. I never see a message and go, nah. I will always reply. I'm always here for my subscribers, no matter what time of day it is. If I'm around and you message, I will talk to you, and I will always be there. And I'm sorry, this is absolutely disgusting. This can't be allowed to happen. This just cannot happen at all. I could rage. I will rage, so I'm going to end the video there, people. But please, never let Sophie Lancaster's name be forgotten. Keep sharing her picture around. Let's make sure that she is never, ever forgotten. And when he eventually gets out, like I say, I hope he has nightmares for the rest of his life. I hope that Sophie's spirit somehow visits him every single day and scares the living shit out of him. Because he is nothing. He is scum. He is an absolute waste of DNA. That's what he is. So, again, I will end up saying more, so I'm going to end it there. But thank you very much for watching. Sophie, love you. Rest in peace. And to everyone else in the alternative community, keep being fucking awesome. Never change for anyone. Wear what you want. Say what you want. Express yourselves. You're all fucking unreal. So, you're welcome here anytime. Take care, everyone. And yeah, bye for now.